chapter number 3, that is coordinate geometry. All right, children?
Yes, ma'am.
So please keep responding. Others also, you can unmute and please unmute yourself. Okay? Okay, Yukta, are you understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Purujit, understanding?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
Akshara?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Pranav? 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 Jitendra?
Yes, ma'am.
Jitendra, the camera is not straight on you. Just adjust your camera. Adjust it again. Little more towards yourself. Actually, your camera is showing the upper part or showing the wall. Focus the camera on yourself. Yes, Rohit, Manisha.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Are you understanding? So we
Yes,
will
ma'am.
begin. Yes, we will begin with coordinate geometry today. Okay. Right? It's a small chapter, very interesting, easy one. Okay. Now, shall we start with coordinate geometry? Okay. So get up now. Okay. Now see in geometry. Forget about the word coordinate. Coordinate की बात हम बाद में करेंगे. ठीक है? First, we'll focus on what is geometry. Geometry is what? Geo means? What is geo? Earth. Is it? Metry means to measure something. Okay, so measuring something. Okay. Now in geometry, we always talk about that. Suppose if you have something in your hand, a cuboid shape, a cube shape, something. We always say its dimensions are this, its length is this much, its breadth is this much, its height is this much. And we always measure the dimensions of any object that we have with us. Either it's a cube, cuboid, whichever shape it is. We always, speak about the dimensions. इसका इतना length है, इसका इतना breadth है, इतना height है, and these things. But we never talk about the position of the thing. Do we? Do we do anytime? Have we studied sometime that this cuboid, now suppose if any cuboid is there, okay, suppose I'll take this duster. Okay, this is a duster. Now, this is not a cuboid shape actually, but whatever shape, just assume that this is some cuboid shape, right? So, if this is a cuboid shape, do we study like that? That this is the location, it's kept here. What is the location? Is it lying on the ground? Is it flying in the air, or is it hanging somewhere? Have we studied anything like that? We haven't, no? So this is the first time that you will be studying about the position of some thing. Okay? Normally, in the geometry, you have always studied about measurements, the angles, right? इतना degree angle है, इतना इसका dimensions है, length इतना है, breadth इतना है, इतना in angles में this is the line segment. All this you have all studied in geometry, but never the position. कभी आपने ये नहीं पढ़ा कि thing is lying on the ground, thing is flying in the air, thing is hanging around. So here we will talk about the position. Now to talk about the position, we always have some axes. Okay? Axis क्या होता है? जब आप ग्राफ बनाते हो, you always have seen x-axis and y-axis. Have you seen? Okay, I'll show you. Okay. I'll share the screen now. One second. Are you able to see? No.
No.
One second. Just a second. Okay, this is your chapter, coordinate geometry. So before we talk about coordinate geometry, you always have some axes with you. Okay, axis क्या होता है? You have this vertical axis, okay, and this is horizontal axis. आपने number line पहले पढ़ा होगा. You must all have studied about number line first. Do you all know about number line?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, in number line, what do we have? We have 0 in the middle. We have all positive numbers towards right side, and we have all negative numbers towards the left side of 0. Is it? So, so coordinate axis is that number. Here we have vertical number line, okay, and we have horizontal number line. We have two number lines which intersect each other perpendicular. Okay, this is 0, -1, -2. We have this number line here. One is the standing number line. Okay, one is the sleeping number line. इसको हमने नेम दिया है y, इसको हमने नेम दिया है x. The sleeping axis is x. We have positive numbers on one side, so on till infinity, and we have negative numbers on the other side, and so on till infinity. Are you understanding? This is also a number line. This is also a number line. अगर हम ये sleeping number line को ऐसे standing कर दें खड़ा, तो वो ऐसे हो जाएगा. Is it? Are you understanding? Are you
Ma'am, can you
understanding?
share your screen again? I can't see the.
Yes.
Ma'am, I think the screen has been
Yes,
stopped.
ma'am. Yes, screen is stuck.
We cannot see anything in the PDF
Yes,
or
ma'am.
anything.
You cannot see the screen.
Yes, ma'am.
And we can see, but the screen is stuck. It's
Yes, ma'am.
just showing the folders.
Folders and yes, ma'am. Coordinate geometry like that.
Okay, one second. 1 second. Let me share it again. Okay. Now can you see?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let me tell you from the beginning. I just erase it. Let me tell you from the beginning. Okay, we all have studied about number line, right? In our junior classes, we all have studied about number line.
Yes,
Number
ma'am.
in number
Yes,
line, क्या होता है? We have 0 in the middle and we have all positive numbers on the right side. Okay, till infinity. And on the left side of the 0, we have all negative numbers. Okay, till -infinity. This much you all know. Okay. Now this is the number line which is in a horizontal position. Okay. If I place this number line like this vertically, in a vertical position, like this, I have all my positive numbers on one upper side. I have all the negative numbers on the lower side of the 0. Are you understanding? So on till -infinity, and upper ones are so on till +infinity. Okay. Are you understanding this much?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the same number line. Initially, it was in a sleeping position like this, in a horizontal line. Now I have taken it a vertical position. The vertical position of the number line, I am taking it the name as this line segment, this line as y, and I am taking this one as x. Okay. So what we do when we take a coordinate axis, we take it like this. What happens when this sleeping line, this sleeping axis will come on this, and when the 0 and 0 of this coincide with each other, this 0 and 0 of this, when they coincide with each other, then you will have what? This origin point. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So here you will have this origin of x-axis also, and origin of this y-axis also. Okay, and you will have all your positive numbers this side, all your negative x-axis numbers this side, all your positive y-axis numbers this side, and all your negative y-axis numbers on the lower side, like this. This we call it as coordinate axis. Okay. Yes. Understood
Okay,
this
ma'am.
much part?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have understood this much part, then we will move on to the next step. Now to find the location. How to find the location? You know, it all started, ये initially कब start हुआ? You know, there was a scientist, there was a mathematician, René Descartes. Once he was sleeping and he was just looking at the roof of the room. So he observed an insect roaming on the roof. Now we all see, हमने भी ऐसे देखा हुआ है कई बार, है ना? You must have also seen lying on the bed and just looking at the roof. So what he thought, that insect was roaming, and he thought of finding the location. That if suppose he has to describe the location of the insect to any other person, what will he say? Where is the insect right now? Okay. So that thing prompted him to discover all these things that you are studying now, coordinate geometry. Okay. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
His name was René Descartes. Okay, so that prompted him to make this coordinate axis and trying to find the location of the insect. Where is the insect located? Okay, and now suppose this is the coordinate axis. Okay, you have understood this much part. Now let's take a board. You know, you have a blackboard in your school. Okay, suppose this is a blackboard, and I make one line like this. I make one line like this. This is the origin point. These are all the positive x-axis numbers, like this same coordinate axis. Okay, x, y. Now what will this axis do? This axis has divided this blackboard, this square board, into 4 equal parts. Is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. This has divided the plane into 4 equal parts. This was a plain board, no? It has been divided into 4 equal parts, and each part is called quadrant. Quadrant. Each part has a special name called quadrant.
Yes, ma'am.
This is one quadrant, this is second quadrant, this is third quadrant, this is fourth quadrant. Okay, like this 1, 2, 3, 4. Now in quadrant, what do we see? In this first quadrant consists
Both
of
the numbers are positive.
yes, Richard?
Ma'am, x and y axis are both positive in the
Yes,
first quadrant.
absolutely. So in first quadrant, you have all x points also positive, all y points also positive. Okay. In your second one, you will have y positive and your
X
x
X
are
negative.
negative. No, this
Yes,
side
ma'am.
are negative. In your third, you will have your y also
And both are
negative.
minus. Both are
Yes.
negative.
Both x is also negative and y is also negative. In your
Ma'am, and in the
fourth
fourth
quadrant,
one, x is
Negative and
positive and
positive.
y is negative.
x is positive this side and y is negative this side. Okay.
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
how do we define that? Now, whenever we are writing some point, we always write it like this. In the bracket, we have one coordinate here and one here, x and y. X means the one which is shown on the x-axis. y is the one which is shown on the y-axis. Okay, suppose if I have a point, say 2, 0, where will my 2, 0 be? Now I have this number line, this coordinate
And
axis. Where
quadrant
will the
one.
point 2, 0 be?
Ma'am,
Quadrant
y-axis.
one.
So
Ma'am, it
this
will be
is
on y-axis.
representing point on the x. This is representing point on the y. So that means on my x, I have 2 and y is 0. So this point is here. Okay. All right. So what does the point represent? ये आपको क्या बताता है? This represents that how much is the distance of this x point from the y axis. कितना distance है इस point का y axis से? That is 2 units. Is it? Is that?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you understanding? So what does it show you? Although the point is on x axis, but it shows the distance of this point from the y axis. Suppose if I have 4, 0, that means on my x axis I will have 4 here. That means this point is telling me that it is 4 units away from y axis. Okay. In general terms, we mean this. And this, the number, the variable which is representing this x-axis is called abscissa. Okay. Okay. Is called abscissa. This x coordinate, the x coordinate is called abscissa.
Ma'am, and y is called ordinate, right?
हाँ, the y coordinate, the one which I am showing 0, I have not come on y coordinate. अभी मैंने आपको सिर्फ x के बारे में बताया. The y point, the y coordinate is called ordinate. Okay, the y coordinate is called ordinate. ये आपको याद रखना पड़ेगा. And I'll give you a memory tip. How to remember it? ये देखो. X and y is like this. X is coming in front. First वाला है first and the second one. A alphabet comes first. So A for abscissa. Right? A for abscissa and the first one. Then एक याद रख लो, दूसरा तो अपने आप याद हो जाता है. Right? Normally children, get confused in this. ये वाला एब्सिसा है कि y वाला एब्सिसा है, ये वाला ऑर्डिनेट है या दूसरे वाला ऑर्डिनेट है. It happens. So don't make that mistake. I'm giving you a memory tip. The first one is A. A alphabet सबसे first आता है ना. So the first one is A. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
याद रहेगा अभी?
Abscissa.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Abscissa.
Somebody is yes, Biche. Yes. Be little louder.
Ma'am, what is that actually? Is it abscissa?
This is abscissa. The x coordinate is abscissa. We call it abscissa, which is x coordinate, which gives us the value on the x axis. Clear? What is the name, Bache? What's your name?
Ma'am, clear.
Priya. Priya. Hello. So Priya, you understood this now? Hello. Don't worry, we will discuss this tomorrow also. Today is just the introductory class. I have not started the chapter with you. I am only giving you the introduction of the chapter. Okay. Hello. 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 Yes, children.
Yeah, ma'am.
I'm only giving you the introduction of the chapter today. Don't worry. If you have not understood anything, tomorrow again we will be discussing all this when we start the chapter. I'm just giving you the introduction of the chapter. that how do we make the coordinate axis. ठीक है अब now suppose if in space you have some point, if some aeroplane is flying, how do you find, कहाँ पे use होता है coordinate axis. हम ये जो coordinate geometry पढ़ रहे हैं, where do we use it actually in real life. प्लेन का
On
लोकेशन
the
पता करना.
on the map.
हाँ मैप के ऊपर भी
Ma'am, for
एग्जैक्टली वेरी नाइस.
navigation,
हाँ
for navigation and
एस्ट्रोफिजिक्स हो गया. देन टू फाइंड द
ma'am, for
लोकेशन.
navigation,
यस
Ma'am, latitude,
नेविगेशन.
longitude.
यस नेविगेशन.
ma'am, in defense
Creation.
and army.
हाँ so at so many places it is used. Okay, so when you go for higher studies you will actually get to know where कहाँ ये use होता है, but this is just the very beginning. I hope you are getting me.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ so this is just to find. अभी तक मैं वही कह रही थी ना, आपने you have studied about, आपने ज्योमेट्री में अभी तक एंगल्स, ट्रायंगल्स, क्वाड्रिलैटरल्स ऐसी चीजें पढ़ी हैं, उनके डायमेंशंस पढ़े हैं, कितना साइड है, कितना एंगल है, क्या मेजरमेंट है ना. उससे भी जूनियर क्लासेस में यू स्टडीड अबाउट स्क्वायर, रेक्टेंगल, ऑल दीज थिंग्स, है ना, ट्रायंगल्स, but you never studied about the position of the geometrical things. If something is there, where it is kept, कहाँ पे उसकी पोजीशन है. जैसे रेने डिस्कार्ट ने क्या किया, he was sleeping and he was just watching the roof, the ceiling was what देख रहा था. He found an insect roaming, है ना. Then हम तो ऐसी चीजें सोचते नहीं, लेकिन he was a scientist. उसने सोचना शुरू कर दिया, अरे भाई वहां पे है, what is the location, कहाँ से find out करें what is the actual location, है ना. So scientists say things like that. So that prompted him to, then the studies came up, and here we landed up the coordinate axis, coordinate geometry. I hope you have understood today's whatever we have learned till now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Never mind, even if anyone has not understood, we will be doing this. Today is just the introduction. All right. How many have understood? Yes, Rohit, understood? Yes, Rohit, have you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Sampath,
I have understood.
Jitendra, understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Sampath, Pranav,
Yes, ma'am.
Yukta,
Yes, ma'am.
Gurujit,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, Shreyan.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. If anyone has not understood, please ask me. Akshara, have you understood?
Yes, ma'am, I understood.
Great. If you have not understood, please ask. Okay? And tomorrow again, we will be doing this, and then we will move on with the chapter part. Okay. So this you have studied about coordinate axis. And coordinate axis, what it does, it divides the plane into 4 equal parts. And we call each part as quadrant. Okay, first quadrant, second quadrant, third and fourth. Now we will move to a new page. थोड़ा इसको neat and clean बना के करते हैं. Right? Let's add a page here. Okay. Now this is the origin. Origin हम कैसे लिखते हैं? Like this, where the x is also at 0 and y is also 0. Then here we have our first number, second, third, fourth, fifth, so on till infinity. This I call it as x-axis. This I call it as y-axis. Minus 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. This is -1, -2, -3, -4. This is here -1, -2, -3, -4. Okay. अब हम नेक्स्ट चीज इसमें क्या देखने वाले हैं, दैट इज हाउ डू वी लोकेट अ पॉइंट. चलो पॉइंट से पहले हम दूसरा देखते हैं कि फर्स्ट in this first quadrant we have our x-axis as positive, okay, and y also positive. Okay, in this we have our x-axis is also positive, y-axis is also positive. In our second quadrant, we have our x-axis as negative and we have our y-axis as positive. Yes? Yes, understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Okay, and in our third quadrant, we have our x-axis as negative and y-axis also negative. Okay, like this. And in our fourth quadrant, this is the fourth quadrant, we have our x-axis as positive and our y-axis as negative. Okay. Now, suppose if I give you a point 1 minus 3, where will this point lie?
Ma'am, in fourth quadrant.
This point will lie in the fourth quadrant because my x is positive and y is negative. Here x is positive, y is negative. So this lies in the fourth quadrant. Okay, if I give you, now Akshara will tell me, if I give you a point -1, -2, Akshara, where will this point lie?
Ma'am, in the third one.
Yes, absolutely right, Akshara.
Okay.
Okay, Yukta. Yukta, now you will tell me -2 and 5. Where will this lie?
In the second quadrant.
Oh, great. You all know everything. Okay, now the very, very, very simple one. 5 and 8. Let me see who's the other child whom I should ask this. Let me just a minute. I must give turn to everyone. No, Pranav. Pranav is there? Pranav? Not there. Okay, Harshit, you tell me where will this lie? In which quadrant? Harshit.
Ma'am,
First
first.
quadrant. Great. Okay, now one more. Jitendra will tell me now. Yes, Jitendra.
Third quadrant, ma'am.
Great. Chalo. That's glad to hear that you are understanding. Okay. इससे मुझे पता चला है कि you are understanding the things. Okay, now one more. Purujit, this is for you now. Yes, Purujit, tell me which quadrant?
Minus. Ma'am,
Yes, yes.
the second quadrant, the fourth quadrant.
First, in first quadrant, which we have both
No,
positive.
ma'am, second,
Yes.
fourth.
Fourth quadrant, x is positive and y is negative, but here x is negative and y is positive. So that means which quadrant is it? Check out again.
It's the second one.
Huh?
It's the second quadrant.
Second quadrant, absolutely right. Okay. Okay, now one more. Let me see who else is there who hasn't. 1 second, let me check. Okay, Harshit has got the turn. Rohit, Sampath, Shreyan. Okay, I'll ask Shreyan now. Shreyan, you tell me,
Yes, ma'am.
which quadrant will this lie point?
Ma'am, third quadrant, ma'am.
Yes, great, Vijay. Very nice. Okay, Sampath, you tell me which quadrant?
Ma'am, fourth quadrant.
Very nice. Good. Okay, Rohit, you tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
Where will this lie?
Ma'am, the first quadrant has both x and y are positive.
First quadrant. Now you see here. This,
Ma'am, it will lie on x-axis. Ma'am.
see here. This x is 1 and y is 0. Now y 0 means x is 1. That means here and y is 0. That means there is no y point here. So that means this will lie on the x-axis. Okay. This point is 1, 0. Okay. We will come to this also. Okay. Although it is, you said, whatever you said, both are positive. That's absolutely right. But this is actually lying on the line itself,
Yes,
on the
ma'am.
axis itself. Okay. So your answer was not incorrect, although it was first quadrant only.
Ma'am, I
but
didn't pay
not-
attention to the points.
Okay,
Yes,
never
ma'am.
mind. That's absolutely no problem with that. Okay, you were correct. Okay, so I shall give you like this. Now here, so far I was giving you inside the quadrant. You know, all these points were inside the quadrant, somewhere here, somewhere here, somewhere inside. Now I must ask you some points like that, which will lie on the line. Okay. Tell me this, Jitendra,
Yes, ma'am.
where is this point? In this x is 0 and y is 2. See, look here, Jitendra, everyone look here. See all these points which are on the y-axis. On the y-axis means they have all y-axis points and all x-axis points are 0 here. Okay? Are you understanding? See all those points which have x as 0. यहाँ पे चाहे कोई भी number हो 3, 4, 5, whatever. If you have x as 0, that means those points are lying on the x, on the y-axis. Even if you have -2, -4, all are lying on the y-axis. Okay, because x is 0. Right? Is that understood, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So, and those points where you have, you know, where you have, you know, all y zeros and and x has some value, all y's are 0. So that means you have all points on the x-axis and your y point is 0. All points are lying on the x only, x-axis, where y point is 0. Y तो यहाँ पे 0 है सबके लिए. All right.